Okay, so a sense of welcoming, sense of settling, this time, this space, this here, this now, and giving this time in the beginning, that's 15 minutes or so of just settling, a sense of the body, sense of the quiet, sense of the stillness. And seeing how it works out. So welcoming, getting comfortable, the here and now. It's okay to have your camera on with this sense of stillness. It's okay to have it off. I think that this one is spotlit, but I actually have you all on gallery view so I can check you all out. This now, this here, this welcoming, the sense of the body, the sense of the being. This knowing of the knowing, this gift, received, this experienced, known, this gift of attention, this gift of care, is open, is being. The stillness and the silence in which all this happens. It's not going anywhere, hasn't come from anything. This knowing, no, a breath received, a breath released. In the knowing, a well-wishing and a welcoming practice, allowing and giving, the experience of giving, the experience of receiving a gift, sense of welcoming an unknown is given, sense of exploration, and joy. That the gift is given, the gift is received, the gift of life, sensitivity, it is life, the willingness to bear with it, and this knowing, the breath, looks like this. Settling and welcoming and gathering of energy, with interest, sense of ease and happiness that this is happening, this moment. This is what's given. In this moment, there's a trust in that, and trust in this, a trust in the capacity to receive life and give attention, give life to life, giving care and welcoming in this practice. This knowing of this capacity to know. Just this. This breath. This knowing of the known, the knowing of the knowing. This knowing of the edge of the known. This interest in what's next, what's here, what's now, where is this, what is this, how is this, how is this experience being experienced, what knows this experience. this knowing, this moment, this gift of life to life, like this. This breath, it's like this. So, Friday night, this and this moment, how to bear with this moment. I, for me, patient endurance, the recognition that somehow patience is this moment is the only place and time to be patient. This is the time and place. This patience is now. I can endure. Endurance is patience sustained in the moment. The patience is now. If I feel I have to be patient for 5 minutes, I'm just being impatient, wanting the 5 minutes to end. A sense of separateness and a sense of, frustration is just amplified. Whereas from the recognition that this is all I've got, this moment, and in this moment, there is patience. There is the capacity to endure this moment, because otherwise something else would be happening. The thing that I've been questioned about today is leadership. What does that mean? And I was corrected that leadership is not about trying to reach a goal, because that's more about management. I'm not sure. But there were, what's the feeling of leadership? I'm not, I'm not 100%. I'm not even 50% or even 25% or even 10% sure really what that means. And yet there is the sense of wishing to follow, a sense of wishing to follow or follow an example or follow a path or follow something that's been suggested or some sort of sense of experimentation. And confidence. Now, what that means in the moment, it's a sense for me is a sense of trust. Trust is a strange quality. And sense of confidence that there is something that can be done, in the direction or a path that can be followed, and having the patience to walk it or to do it, the sustaining of interest, the sustaining of a sense of happiness and joy in it, a sense of sustaining something. And that's really where, for me, patient endurance comes in, because it's not, it doesn't imply a sense of aversion to the moment, but a sense of being with the moment, being with what's doing, being with what's happening, a sense of this moment is like this is what I'm doing now and here. And what, the direction is less pain, less stress in the present moment and for future. That's about the long and short of it. There's an idea of present moment stress, present moment pain, present moment discomfort, present moment of being associated with what one doesn't like or separated from what one likes, or just not getting what one wants, not doing what one wants, not behaving in the way that one wants, mentally, physically, emotionally, as this is what's happening, and then enduring that, and then recognizing that there is some sort of way of relating to this, so that there's lesson now and lesson in the future. So getting, when there's what I feel is unpleasant or unskillful emotions, or unpresent or unskillful thoughts or speech or action, a way of finding a space around it, or a space of once it's spilled over into speech and action, then there's tidying up to be done. There's a sense of figuring out what to say or what to do that clears up the spilled milk, or clears things up. And those are the actions of and that requires, again, some skill. So that the easiest place to again, to begin with, that clearing up the spill, is recognizing that a mistake has been made, and then doing something to correct it. Recognizing was made a mistake and correcting it as best one can. Now, once it's built out into actions of speech or body, it's like it's gone gone beyond just the mental or the emotional. But the greatest freedom is in the emotional and the mental, that we can, it's not so much control or as find a freedom in it, in the knowing of it, in the sense of knowing of it, and trusting that it won't spill out into speech or actions. That's the training of the speech and the actions that we can do. But in basic things is that this is uncomfortable, or this is not where I want to be, or not what I want to be doing. And then accepting that, and then what happens next? How do you shift your position? How do you shift? What do you do? If you can trust you're not going to cause more pain to yourself or others, then you're pretty happy, you're pretty lucky, and that's where training in the basic 5 precepts and the basic, particularly speech, but also action, so that you don't follow through on things. There's a sense of a guarding, a sense of protection. And from that, there's a sense of, well, what can I do now and here so that there's less suffering now and in the future? And for the most part, most of the time, there's a sense of, well, what's next? And a willingness to stay with that, what's happening now? And a willingness to open to that, and a trust that this particular time and place is safe enough to do that. So an exploration of how is this sensitivity now? And what is happening now in the particular time and space, that this sense of knowing experiences now and here. Now, it's always what is being known, the particulars of what is being known is always particular and changing and shifting. Never ultimately satisfying, because it's always shifting and changing. But the knowing is just this, and the knowing of that knowing is the way to reduce the sense of unsatisfactoriness now, and a trusting in that knowing is a way of reducing the unsatisfactoriness in the future. Because it's everything is in that knowing. It's just the way that I experience something is just this. It's particular to this time and space, but the knowing is not particular to this time and space, because it's just this. What is known is always shifting and changing. But the trusting of this knowing, that for this one, just takes the complication out of it. So it's a sort of simplification or untangling of this moment. It's also an encompassing or an embracing of this moment. And okay, so what do you do? But practicing or doing, because this is just the result of a lot of doing. All these emotions, all these thoughts, all this body is the result of a lot of doing, a lot of becoming, a lot of actions. If you want to know what your karma is, know where you are now. If you want to know what your karma is going to be, know what you're doing now. Now this is where our freedom lies. In this moment, we can change our relationship to the past. And in changing the relationship to the past, we change our relationship to the future. Changing the relationship to the past is a sense of oh, gives a space around it, the sense of, oh, what's the skillful thing to do here? What's the skillful thing to think? Where's the skill here? That sense of inquiry. That sense of inquiry is a way out. That sense of knowing what, and not coming up with a pat answer, or a sense of trusting that there's not going to be anything harmful that one's going to do, because there's a sense of training. And then well, what's next? That sense of inquiry comes from a sense of, let there be less suffering now and in the future. And then why do we get caught up in the old habits, the old emotions, the old responses? And how do we stop them? Take the I out of it. Take the personal out of it. And I can't take the personal out of it, but the taking of the personal out of it is just to stop with the knowing. Because it's just causes and conditions that have come to this. And so the patience to be with this moment, because we all have that capacity. Because if we're experiencing this moment, we have the patience to be with it. Even if the patience is, I don't want this moment, you have the patience to be with that. I want to get rid of my sense of wanting. Is an extra complication. I want to get rid of my sense of I don't want this, or I don't like this, or I want something else. And just this. It's like this. Well, how is it like this? Where is it like this? How is this experience? What's the whole of this experience? What's not experiencing this? Where does this end in this moment? Not where does it end in the future, but where does it end now? Where's the end of this stress now? That inquiry. And in the inquiring is the knowing. In the inquiring, there is the knowing. And that knowing of that knowing is the ending. It's a suggestion. Because however strong or however confused the knowing of this What's not confused, what's not angry, what's not caught up in lust, what's not caught up in confusion, what's not caught up in tiredness, what's not caught up in the sense of exhaustion. What knows it? How is this knowing experienced? And that's a refuge. Well, that's a direction. How to do this? What's the technique? There's always a breath. Always a breath and can bring you back to the knowing. Because if there's a breath, there's a life. And if the breath is even too much or too strong or too physical, just the sense of this knowing and the trust of this in this knowing, which is not going anywhere, it's not coming anywhere, not coming from something, it's not getting rid of anything, it's not getting anything, it's not becoming anything. Life is given, not something you have to get, it's given. It's not something that you can get rid of, it's given. It's received. We give life to life. Wisdom is the knowing of this experience that is sensitive and irritated and separate, and the action to know where the pain and the suffering ends. Because wisdom begets compassion, and compassion begets wisdom. The wisdom is the knowing that there is pain and suffering, and the compassion is the action to reduce pain and suffering, and to know where pain and suffering ends, to understand the cause that is not understanding and not knowing. That is the root of that ignorance, not knowing that we don't know, which is the sense of, which feeds the sense of compulsion, of wanting to become, get rid of. Because in this moment, it's like this. And we're all brothers and sisters in this. There really is no distinction. All beings, human beings particularly, we're brothers and sisters in with all of them. Brothers and sisters in this experience. Brothers and sisters and theys and all the in-betweens and ups and downs. All the different possibilities and combinations. It's like this. There's always this. In time and space. But what knows time and space? What knows time and place? What knows the right time and the right place? The right action, the right speech, the effort that is in accordance with a sense of ease. Knowing time and space, knowing time and place, knowing here and now is the way to beyond here and now, beyond time and space. What is outside time and outside space? Allowing that inquiry to open to that possibility, open to the unknown. The recognition of that possibility, the recognition of life, the reconnection with that, and the education of the thought, education of the speech, the education of the actions, at all levels, so that there's less pain and less suffering in this moment. And patience. And any sense of, that sense of, I am somebody, I need to do something, and I'm not sure what it is. You're somebody, you need to do something, and I'm not sure whether you're going to do it or not. Knowing that, knowing the judgments and the confusion, that believing in that, just allowing the sense of, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what's happening now, and I know that I don't know. But I know the knowing. There is the knowing of the knowing. And trusting that. This is the suggestion, that a sitting meditation is just an expression of, it's a practicing of being enlightened rather than a practicing to get enlightened. The sense of, I need to get something out of this feeds the sense of I'm inadequate and I need to get something. And I am somebody and I need to do something. And I'm not sure if I can do it or if it's the right thing. And there isn't a way out that way. There isn't a way out that way. There is a practice of confidence, a practice of directing thought away from that which is unskillful. And that gives space for the skillful. And the patience is to be with things as they are. That's where that patience in this moment, it's like this. Patience enduring this moment, it's like this. And the not doing of that which is unskillful, the not doing of that, following of that which is unskillful, and the patience just to stop. That's the patience to grow up. Now, as a kid, as a child, as a growing body, and growing physically, growing emotionally, growing intellectually, that's the doing, fed by habit. At some point, then this grow up is a sense of, hey, it's like this. What can be done to reduce suffering now and in the future? Is there joy in this? And is there an acceptance of this limitation? This is what can be done now. This is what is being done now. This is the serenity of this moment and the joy in that possibility. This is what can be done to reduce suffering now and in the future. Know where there's no suffering in this moment. Understand the limitations of it, not add to the sense of wanting things to be different or wanting to get rid of things or wanting to get on to the next thing. Because this is the moment. This is the preciousness of this moment. This is all we've got. And fully, in a sense, embrace it. Fully accept this is how it is. This is the breath. This is the experience of now and here. It's as it is. This is the limitation. And it's a joy that this is what it is. Because the knowing is like this. And this is what is offered. This is what is received. And in this time and space, if there are questions, then type them in. For a few minutes, I'll try and see what I can do with any particular questions. And if there are none, there are none. And if there's particular annoyance about particular things, like, I don't like it when that person says that about me, or that person says that about that person. That's how it is. It's their problem, not yours. It's, you know, if somebody criticizes something, it is. Not to add to the confusion. Some people really like Pashtaistanata. I'm not particularly fond of them. Preferences, no problem. Some people like one football team, some people like another football team. I was talking to, as I said some time ago, a Christian monk who's also a priest. He's talking about religion. And he was saying, everybody who has a religion should really feel that their religion is the best. Otherwise, they'd keep looking for another one, and that's just making things confusing. It's like, if somebody has a spouse or a partner, they should feel that that's the best one, because otherwise they're looking for somebody else. What is better than dwelling in sense pleasures? Well, sense pleasures are a bit boring. How much ice cream can you eat? And indulging in sense pleasures is a way of self-harming, strangely enough, because what it does is it overstimulates the senses. And overstimulating the senses, it's a way of harming. It makes them less sensitive. So it's not that there's anything wrong with sense pleasures. Indulging in them is self-harming, though. It harms the senses, harms the sensitivity of the senses. Criticism, praise and blame. Criticism, blame. Yay. Criticism, not liking something, not liking someone. It's somewhat, there's always going to be that, because there's always going to be that sense of separation. It's the nature of separate existence, is there's always going to be criticism. I got criticized today and it hurt me. I struggle not feeling as a victim in this situation. Maybe the person is wrong. Maybe the criticism is unjustified. And if it is, then the sense of it's okay to say, well, what's that about? It was all right to ask the question. But if the criticism is something, one can also say, well, what can I learn from this? Feeling a victim or feeling put upon is like this. Feeling blamed is like this. And it's not wrong to feel that way, because adding to this and thinking, well, I shouldn't feel that I'm the victim, is just making oneself more of a victim, isn't it? I shouldn't feel like I'm a victim. This is what feeling like a victim feels like. It's like this. This is what being blamed is like. It's like this. This is what blaming myself for feeling that I'm a victim is like. My capacity for complicating the situation is pretty much infinite. And then what happens here more is watching that, and then, oh, that's what's happening. Ah, that's what's happening. Oh, oh. And that oh feeling, I find really useful, that sense of oh. And then also the sense of slightly smiling at it. There it is again. There it is again. Oh, it's like that. That's what it's like. This is how it feels like to feel a victim and feel criticized. It may be wrong, it may be right. I've got no idea, but this is what it feels like. And then, okay, I don't like being blamed. I don't like being criticized. And I don't particularly like even criticizing myself, but I'm pretty good at it. So, that sense of knowing that, and then, oh, this is what it's like. And then allowing the sense of a smile to come, the sense of, oh, gives us space for a smile. And a smile is a not taking it personally. It's not feeling inadequate about it. It's not feeling it should be otherwise. There's a real noticing of this is where the suffering ends. The sense of, oh, and a smile. No? That is worth noticing. Day-to-day, curious advice how to allow and foster intuition. I think I've written a book about this, allowing intuition and insight. I think part of that is trusting that you don't know. And part of allowing intuition is a sense of, I really, really do not know what's happening now. This is an incredibly peculiar experience, this time and space. And I don't really know how it works. How is it that I find this sense of being trapped in this body or being limited by this body, by this time and this space? What is this? What is this now here? And that inquiry then, oh, it's like this. And then there's a smile possibility. And then what happens next? I really don't know. There's some structures in time and space, but I really, really do not know what's happening. And that I find helpful, because then I really don't know what's going to happen next. How often should one contemplate death? Every breath. No, it's that close. We don't know. We don't know. This is all we can know here and now. Future is the unknown. Past is a memory. Now is the knowing. That's the phrase. There's nothing to get rid of, nothing to get, nowhere to go, nothing to become. Just this moment. That's a way of in life, daily activities, just not knowing what's happening next, I find really helpful. And allowing myself to be with that sense of I don't know what's happening next. I don't most of the time know what's happening now. So what's happening next is a complete mystery. that I find helpful. So it's an acceptance of limitation, and it's a patience with this. This is how it is. I don't know if there's going to be another question. My legs fall asleep after 1.5 hours in the lotus position. Is it okay to keep the session of meditation going after themselves? It's okay to change position. It's okay to do walking meditation. It's okay. It's okay. What I find if I find that my legs are painful, and then I say to myself, I move out of compassion for the body, and I feel great about myself. I move because I have compassion for the body, rather than I can't stand this anymore. I'm a terrible failure. I have to move. I stop and I say to myself, I move out of compassion for the body. And then I feel really good about myself as I move as quiet as possible. It's just, I like to make myself, No, I set the intention up clearly. I'm not moving because I can't stand it anymore. I move because I have compassion and kindness for the body. And then I move. And I feel better about myself, about moving, rather than thinking I'm some sort of failure. Change the tune, change the channel. That's what I tend to do.